Now, we don't like to be overly dramatic when we are sharing the story of our renovation, but we do like to bring you the truth and the reality and the ups and the downs. And I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, but something really terrible has just happened. It is Sunday the 15th of December. On Friday the 13th, we completed the bathroom. We shared the video on Saturday morning. And today, just before lunchtime, I was sitting down to do some editing for what is supposed to be next week's video. And I heard Kylie shout out, "What's that noise?" And so we kind of rushed around a little bit, trying to see if we could work out what the noise was. And I went into the lounge downstairs and saw water dripping through the ceiling from the bathroom above. We ran upstairs into the bathroom and I couldn't see any water anywhere. And of course that means that the water was not from a tap that had been left on or the shower or something like that, but it was actually coming from where all the plumbing is concealed behind the tiles that we have just finished installing, siliconing, finishing off nicely. Fortunately, we do have the ability to access from above. We just have plasterboard up here, and so we cut a hole to try and see what was going on inside. And it's very difficult to get a shot in there, but I'll try and show you what has happened. Essentially, one of the plumbing parts has failed. All of the stuff in there is crimped multi-commada, so it's like a mechanical fixing. There's like a big set of jaws that go around and crimp all of the connections together, and one of those has failed. You can still see that it's crimped, but the brass piece has popped out from a T-piece that connects all the hot water from this side of the room to the other side of the room where the shower and the bath is. And so we have some investigations to do to try and work out what's going on, but also what the damage might be up here and downstairs. And then we need to work out a plan to fix it. Anyway, let's go downstairs and see what the damage is. Fortunately, we have a nice easy access panel down here.
Yeah. This is not what I wanted to be doing today. It's a Sunday. The bathroom's been working for 2 days.
We've had one bath.
Yeah.
Total.
And it's why I hate concealing plumbing into walls and things.
Yeah. But there's no way around it. You have to put the plumbing somewhere and you don't want it to be seen.
Yeah. So we'll either rethink the fittings that we're using, how we're crimping them.
I don't know.
So we definitely had water coming through here onto the floor, and the only reason that escaped here is there is a cut in the insulation, so it's kind of come on the inside of the insulation where there's a cut, then it started to come down. But I also did see some coming down directly under where the pipes go up into the bathroom. So because we have this temporary, just as well, piece of furniture, not furniture, we can take this off and have a look.
And at least there is wine.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough wine in the world to mask this disappointment, though. It's really not ideal.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's people in the comments saying, "Oh, we told you so, these things fail all the time." Well, that may be true, but we did the best that we could do. Unfortunately, we have had a failure. The fact that it's happened so soon after turning on the system, even though we tested it and pressure tested it up to 5 bar, it leads me to think that it was either just a user error of that one connection not being crimped as well as the others, or it could have been a faulty part. The fact that it happened so quickly leads me to think that it was something like that, rather than this system of plumbing is completely useless. Yeah, because we've not had any issues downstairs at all anywhere.
Exactly.
And we've used exactly the same approach, exactly the same parts, exactly the same tool. Anyway, it's really bad luck, but now we just have to deal with it. Okay.
All right, let's have a look at the damage. Hopefully not too much. Oh, a little bit, but not too much.
A little bit of water.
Yeah, I need a better light in here though.
Okay.
So I'm surprised at how little there is.
Yeah, me too. Maybe it's all still upstairs.
I mean, you can see this piece of timber is quite wet. You have to leave this open to dry it out.
Yeah. Cats will love it in there.
Oh my God, yeah. Can't see up there enough.
So let's leave the conversation, the wider conversation about redoing everything for a bit later on. If we want to look at this specific failure and fixing it, undoing, redoing, what does that look like? What are the options?
Okay, so the failed part, let me stick my arm down here and see how far down it is about that far, which is about that far.
Okay, so
to
the
my
bottom
fingertips.
of the top tile. I mean,
so at a minimum, that top tile has to come out and all the fittings.
so if we're going to do a repair, then we probably want to disrupt as little of this as possible. One of the first questions is, how do we get that tile off without damaging all the others?
So remember that other property that we had where we had the failed floor? Those builders came in and I'm sure they used an angle grinder. I think the grout lines were slightly wider than this.
I mean, I definitely saw him using a box cutter
Did you? I
to
remember
refine
hearing
it.
it.
Oh, you heard an angle grinder? Okay.
The
I think our one is too big.
new Dremel
Yeah.
might have a bit that could go through there, and at least the Dremel blades would be tiny,
Yes.
so you have a
They
lot
would
more
fit.
control.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Dremel do a grout cutting bit.
Oh, for sure.
Whether or not we can get it.
I mean, there may
fast
be one
enough.
for the angle grinder as well, but
More drastic option is we take all of this off, and instead of putting tiles back, we do wood paneling or something like that, which is more removable.
And do you remember us having this big discussion about not building all the plumbing in on this side? And we said, no, we've never had a plumbing failure before.
Well, now we've had one.
Yeah.
We just hope we don't get any more, because I don't even want to think about doing that side of the room and taking all those tiles off and doing all that plumbing.
No. I mean,
that
at least
would
it's the only the... Oh, no, it's not just the
because
bottom.
it goes up to the shower as well.
Shh. Just the bigger question is, do you repair the single joint? Or do you
replace
redo everything?
Well, if you redo all of this, you have to redo all of that. And every time we leave the house, you'll be like, oh, should we turn the water off?
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good job we were
it's kind
home.
of weird, though, that the water was on for, 3 days before it failed.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I'm always going to question that shower wall side.
Should we have some lunch?
Well, maybe we just keep the outdoor shower and don't worry about this bathroom.
Well, that is going to take forever. So I would say that is
like the rest of this project.
like the rest of this project. Yeah, it will be another 4 years just cutting this tile out.
Just doing the bathroom.
So the box cutter, no good.
I'm going to protect my freshly washed hair because now I don't know when I'm going to get to have a shower again. So I bought a new tool for the window restores, a little Dremel, and I think it's going to come handy at cutting through the grout, which is not what I intended it for. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe we'll go on the slow setting first. Well,
I'm just doing a test.
Well, let's see if it works first, and then you can put more clobber on.
Oh, that's too fast.
So one thing, you should definitely have a mask on.
Yes. I agree.
Secondly, it looks like it's working.
It's just not going deep enough, and that's because the body of this is
It gets
fouling
in the
on
way.
here. But we can use the other...
Oh, there's a small attachment.
The small attachment, I think,
I'll try
will-
and set that up for you. You look like Darth Vader.
That's what everyone does on Sundays, right? Chills out in their bathroom. All right, shall we?
Let's see. not really much in that one.
It's just leaking out there. Nada.
Okay, good.
We removed more of the top panel so that we could get a good look behind the tile to make sure we didn't cause any additional damage while cutting the tile out. And whilst Kylie attacked one of the grout lines with her Dremel, I tried our oscillating multi-tool on the other side. This worked pretty well, and soon-ish, we'd cut out all the grout lines and threw the plasterboard behind so that we could remove the tile and get a closer look at the failed part. I even looked up some of our old YouTube videos to work out where the screws were in case we had to cut any of those out. But fortunately, we were able to just pry the plasterboard off the screws and then remove them later.
Nice one.
Okay, just watching to not scratch the tile underneath it.
Yeah.
My iron is screw here still. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah, this way.
So there is the problem child. And based on how this is looking, I don't know if you agree with this, it almost looks like there was some stress on that left side of the joint.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And I think that may have just been enough to cause it to fail, because you can see the crimp is still there on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's just, I also think because it's where the incoming feed tees off, there is, when it comes up into that T-piece, it puts a little bit more force on that fitting.
So now that we've got access, we can see a bit more clearly what's going on. The next thing we need to work out is, can we do this repair without removing anything else? Or in order to get the long arms of the crimping pliers in, are we going to have to take off more tiles? And then we need to work out what is going to be replaced, because we can't just replace the T-piece, we're going to need to replace a couple of other bits as well. But at least we managed to get the tile off, so we know that that's possible if we need to do the bottom one as well.
The other thing we have to be aware of is remembering where this goes so that it's still back in the exact same position for our tile.
For the hole in the tile, yeah. And that's if we can reuse the tile, which hopefully we can.
Yeah.
Because we managed to get it out without any damage.
I mean, I'm not too sure there was any force. I mean, if you look at it like that, I mean, this was forward, right?
Yeah, it
but
was.
Still, that looks fairly...
It does look fairly good.
Straight.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
I think it's just a piece failure. Or it wasn't just seated properly in the pipe.
Yeah, it's possible. Based on what we can see now, where are your thoughts about replacing everything and on the other side of the room too?
I don't want to do that.
Well, I don't think we wanted to do any of this.
Okay.
So this is the part that failed. It was in this orientation. We had the incoming feed coming in from underneath, and then this was going off to the bath and shower end of the room. And then this was the piece that just blew out somehow. And what's slightly concerning is it doesn't really look particularly different or special or damaged in any way, but I can kind of just push this on and pull it off, and I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that. So it could have been an alignment thing. Maybe this wasn't all the way seated in. Maybe it was off somehow. There was some extra tension or something in the pipe. We just have to hope that it's a one-off, because this has not been fun. My love, can you hear me?
Yeah?
Can you give me as much of your pipe as you can?
You have to pull.
Okay, I'm pulling. That might be enough. Let me just test it out. Yeah, that should do it.
All right. I don't know if I can get my hand in there at the same time as you're crimping.
Okay, well let me just see if I can get it without extra
I think it needs to
assistance.
be on a slight angle, which...
So I'm going on the side one first.
Oh, aye, okay.
Yes.
Right, well, let me just bring it forward.
Yeah, that'd be great.
that.
Well, hopefully. Oh, yes. Crimping.
Just watching my tile there.
Yeah.
I think I need to come from that side to pull up the piece.
I think it's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice and snug up.
Let's just check that it's seated down onto it properly if you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I can.
Can this go up? Yeah. Can you just hold that temporarily? Thanks.
See, I think this needs to push back a bit so you can get the angle. Yeah.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crimping.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good crimp, that one.
Excellent. So the more we look at all this, I think it was user error on our part.
Myself too. I think it wasn't... I think the pipe wasn't into the fitting correctly.
Like the plastic collar. I think the metal collar wasn't into the plastic collar properly.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah.
I just hope that that hasn't happened anywhere else. I mean, this piece of pipe is a bit bent. I don't know if that's going to be a problem for us or not. Do you see how it's got a bit of a curve in it?
Yeah, the worst case, if we don't get it right, we can... we've got more of these.
We have got more of these, yeah.
Then we'd have to get up and find some more 20 pipe. Do you want me to go and look to see if we have any? Yeah, it must be in the loft. Hold on.
This piece that we've just got is going to replace this and some of this, I guess.
Yeah, so I would cut the 16 first.
Yes, that's what I'll
do. So straighten it, cut it, put the new part on it, then we can look at how long the next piece needs to be. Okay, ream that.
Thank you. 16. Okay, that looks good.
There you go. That's when you need the arms to be long. Okay.
So I'm just going to check that all the things are still in the right place. Very carefully. It's quite heavy.
Yeah. So just remember, it will need to come up a tiny bit because there was a grout line.
Yeah. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, take it back.
So we're going to take it off.
Yes.
For now. Okay, got it. And it's away. I mean, it looks as good as new. It's got that kind of industrial vibe.
That's good. Come over to the hot.
Mm-hmm. Then you need to press on here.
I know. I'm just trying to avoid that. Can't actually get my finger in there anyway. Back to being able to have a shower.
Yeah, right. I might just go and have one before this happens again.
Oh, don't tempt fate.
So I would say that is a crisis averted. And hopefully it is now good to go.
And only just over 24 hours without a shower, which is better than before, where it was 4 years.
Yeah.
So we haven't finished.
Are you sure? I think it looks fine. Just put a piece of furniture in front of it.
Yeah. We did get to the bottom of the crimp failure, and it was probably user error, but we're going to leave this off for a little while, just in case there's another user error in there. And in the future, we will make this a removable panel. But we both had a little bit enough of this bathroom project for the moment. So we're going to come back to this side of the bathroom when we've recovered. I'm looking forward to pulling out a couple of windows, and that's much more fun than plumbing. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, this was not fun, but I'm glad that we managed to do it in, well,
24
hours, which isn't bad.
36. The one thing last night when we were stressing and commiserating with a bottle of wine was we did consider, do we need to replace all of the parts with better branded parts? Do we need to get an electric crimper?
Which costs like 1,200 euros.
Do we need to remove this entire enclosed space and have it surface mounted?
And do we have to do the same on the shower end?
Yeah, which is the worst. So we are going to leave this side, but we're also going to leave the shower end open for some time.
From the back?
Yeah, from the back. And if it makes it a couple of months and there's no failures, then we're good to go. We definitely need to pay a little bit more attention to when we're crimping to make sure we have a good connection between the crimper and the part, which perhaps we didn't in the past.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, this wasn't fun, but it is done, and that's the most important thing. And something that I think is perhaps relevant to this whole conversation of do it yourself. When you do something and you make a mistake, it doesn't feel great, but at least you know what you did and how it all works and where to go looking for the repair job. If we'd had a plumber do all of this for us, and if then they left and went to another job and it was days or weeks or months later, if we needed someone to come in and fix this for us, we might be waiting for days or weeks or months, or maybe that person would never come back. So the fact that we've done this and we've made the mistake ourselves isn't great. Never feels good to make a mistake, but at least we were able to jump on it and fix it within a day. And so I think that is a big bonus for do it yourself, because then you can fix it yourself as well. I mean, it's better when things don't go wrong in the first place, but I don't think we could ever expect to get it all right and perfect the first time when we're doing so much of this for the first time. But anyway, enough of all that. Let's wrap this up. I think it's time to go and have a shower. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Just as well we had that shower, and I've got so much tile dust in my hair now.
I think I've got plasterboard dust and tile dust.